You have heard us talk about the importance of relationships in your life as you age. And today we're going to specifically spend some time on friendships.
Because the reality is, as human beings, we all need good, healthy connections. And at this phase of life in retirement, it's probably even more important than ever before.
And really, new research is coming out showing so many benefits to healthy relationships and friendships in your life. Lowering your risk of depression, feeling a little more satisfied with your life.
You know, the other thing that good, healthy relationships do is it improves your longevity. It helps you with cognitive function in elder years, right? I knew
we need that.
And it gives you, me, us, a sense of belonging. So it really is important to have good friendships.
You know, in our Your Retirement Game Plan course, we help clients differentiate the types of friendships they currently have in their life and the types that they want. We have them put them into buckets, invest and grow, maintain, even fade and dissolve. And that's an important exercise for our clients.
It is. And when you think about your different types of friendships in your life, you can determine how much and what types of investments you're going to make. There's a great book that we both just read by Marisa Franco called Platonic, How the Science of Attachment Can Help You Make and Keep Friends. And she goes on to say that these mindsets and behaviors are going to help you develop new friends and keep relationships healthy and long-lasting. And the first mindset is what? Initiative.
Initiative, right, because initiative really ignites the friendship, if you think about it, right? And she talks a lot about taking the initiative in your friendships.
And once you have friends, you have to be authentic, you need to be vulnerable. Both of these are going to help you sustain relationships by allowing us to show up as our true selves.
And then, getting into generosity and affection to deepen your friendships. Verifying to your friends just how much you love them.
Yeah, we should.
Sometimes you surprise people by saying that.
You should, and we will put this book in the link below because it's a great read if you really, and it's all over the internet now. It's being talked about a lot. So we'll definitely put the link in there.
But let's talk about the 8 really different types of friendships, right?
Yeah, well, the first type, I guess, we would call best friends.
You're my best friend, right?
You're my best friend, right? We all have best friends. These are the strongest, most intimate, probably the most important friends in your life. You talk to them all the time. You love spending time together. And these friendships stand out in your mind and heart. And these are the people you can be honest and vulnerable with, right?
Especially without any fear of being judged, right? These are the people that create that space for you.
Yeah, my dad always had this saying, if you can count the number of best friends on one hand, you've got a full life.
Oh, that's interesting. I never heard him say that.
Not 2 hands, 1.
The second group of friends are your social friends, right? These are the people that are just fun to be around. You spend a fair amount of time with them when you're in the mood to really socialize and have a good time. Often, especially for you, they pull the extrovert out in you because you're naturally an introvert.
I am.
But your social friends really pull the extrovert out in you. They make you laugh. You create memories. They're couples maybe you go to dinner or play golf or pickleball with.
Yeah, for us, being down in Florida now in the winter, we really went out of our way this past winter to meet new people. And we did it by meeting couples, playing golf.
Really a lot of
pickleball,
social friends.
Neighborhood friends. We really went out of our way to meet new people, and it really has helped us a lot in finding the kind of people we want to hang out with.
So you have your best friends, your social friends, and the third one is?
Well, you came up with this. Low-dose friends.
Right.
So people you like to take in low doses. And,
That's okay.
It is okay. Maybe you want to see them once a month. They're still friends, but it's not always like just all fun all the time. Maybe they have different lifestyles. You can take them and their personality in small amounts, and you don't. And I think that's good.
Yeah, but I think
low-dose friends.
I think a low-dose friend is important to have. You can still get,
it's still a friend.
Yeah, a good amount of social connection there.
Right.
The fourth category is group friends. People you share friends with in kind of a friend group. Maybe you don't see them often or you don't see them on a regular basis or even one-on-one. And if you or they weren't in the group, maybe you wouldn't even be friends. It's more of a social circle.
So here's what I'm thinking. If you got this group friends within the group, you can have best friends, good friends, low-dose friends, and there might even be a toxic friend or two in there because the group friends Friends bring their friends along.
So it's
No
not
good?
it's not a group of friends.
Oh, it's not.
It's actually a category called group friends. Like, we went to play pickleball every Tuesday and Thursday.
Right.
And those people that we saw there, if you saw them at the grocery store or maybe at the movies, you might not even recognize them. You only really recognize them as part of the group.
Why am I struggling with this?
I don't know, but you are.
Let's move along.
Okay.
What do you think? What about situational friends? And you talked about this all the time, because the greatest example of situational friends, I think, are work friends, right? That's another whole category. But situational friends are friends that are confined to certain circumstances. It could be pickleball friends. It could be dinner friends. It also could be relatives, in-laws.
So
Kids.
I'm thinking these are people, like, if you went to a Big Ten school, right? You went to Penn State or Ohio State or Michigan. These are friends you see at that one tailgate every year.
Okay.
And it's situational based on you're connected in a meaningful way around a certain situation.
You have
or
such
setting.
passion around this category.
I do, and I didn't go to a Big Ten school, but my kids did, and I know that they have this type of friendship.
Well, the best example for me are work friends, which is really, they are situational. And the thing that you and I both found...
And it is a whole nother category, too.
It is,
of
because you can get best friends out of work.
Of course.
But what happens is, at work, you're with them every single day. They're your work family. But when you leave your career, you do leave many of these people behind, and you just have to be prepared for that.
Right.
We've done other videos on this, and people's comments are like, I never thought about this, and you're right, I really did leave a lot of people behind, and that's hard.
It is hard, but work friends are unique because you do spend so much time, quantity of time
Right,
together.
right.
May not necessarily be quality, but it
Right,
is quantity
right.
of time. All right, so the seventh type of friend that we came up with is lifelong friends. These
Like
are
you and me.
Nope.
Okay.
These are childhood friends or high school friends or college friends. Friends that you may grow apart with, but then you stay connected around holidays, or there's something unique about the friendship and they've known you through many stages of your life.
I have nothing to add. I think you covered that
Okay.
really well.
Good.
How about this one? Life stage friends. So growing up, you have high school friends, you have college friends. When you first get married, you meet other young couples who are married. If you have kids, you meet other parents of kids. So these are life stage friends.
Right.
And for us now in retirement, we are finding, and this is what we did this winter, we really went out of our way to talk to other retirees who are in the same boat we're in.
Right.
They're all
and
looking...
investing in retirement life stage friends.
Yes, they're all looking to do that.
Right.
So anyway, I think that was good. So those are types of friends. Now we wanted to talk a little bit quickly about the types of friends to avoid.
Yeah, because
Or-
the ones we just spoke about are actually types of friends that add to your connections.
and you want to invest and
Right,
grow with them.
absolutely.
But there are groups of people that you want to just fade and dissolve. And just, you don't call them up and say, hey, we're not going to be friends anymore.
Right.
But these are the kind of people we want you to think about in your life. And does it really make sense to keep continuing a relationship?
Yep.
Because they're not always the best. But one kind of friend is a one-sided friend.
Yeah, and you know, we all know this kind of friends where you do all the initiating, you do all the planning, you do all the supporting, and the friend just kind of sits back and takes.
And if you still have a good time, it's okay. But, maybe you need to have a chat with them. Like, hey, why don't you guys plan the next time we go out to eat? Because I think that's important.
Well, at the end of the day, those types of friends can ultimately deplete you.
They can.
If
They can.
there's no reciprocation, right?
I guess another kind of friends to think about whether it makes sense to continue with are friends who you are ambivalent about. The opposite of love isn't
Hate.
hate. What is it? Ambivalence.
Indifference.
If you're indifference.
Indifference, it's typically.
These big words I struggle with. But if you are indifferent about the people or ambivalent, then maybe you shouldn't be hanging out
And
with
really,
them.
an ambivalent friend is, these are people that you sometimes have a lot of fun with, and other times, they leave you feeling awful. Many people think toxic relationships are the unhealthiest, but those are sometimes easiest to spot.
Right.
Really these ambivalent relationships are more draining.
And I think the point here is the reason we wanted to cover this is that you want to make sure you have enough time for the friends who are important. So if you have other friends in your life who are maybe dragging you down, then you need to think about where to invest your time.
And these
So-
are just good things to keep top of mind, right?
So there's, there's codependent friends. Maybe you need to put some boundaries in place. There's toxic friends. I mean, these are the ones that really, you and I, we're doing a much better job figuring out how we're going to deal with people that when we're around, they just suck the energy out.
Well, you know what's hard about toxic friends at this stage of life is sometimes you have a couple, right? And you guys might all have couples where, you as the wife are just really connected to the other wife and they are really a good, positive, healthy friendship. But maybe the husband is toxic or
Right.
vice versa.
Yeah.
And, they make you feel bad about yourself. And sometimes they drive wedges in between you and other people. And
Right.
it's just really hard to be around.
Well, the last kind of friend category you came up with, fake friends. What is a fake friend?
Well, people who call themselves friends, and this kind of feels a little high school-y, but it happens throughout your whole life, right? People who call themselves your friends, but they're not looking out for your well-being. They're
Okay.
constantly putting you down.
Okay.
They're talking about you when you're not there. They never make you feel welcome,
Okay.
right? They kind of lack the qualities that good, healthy friendships have, like
Okay.
loyalty,
Like that.
support,
I
and
like that.
closeness. Yeah.
Because we all need good, healthy relationships,
Absolutely.
right? That's the point of this video today, is to talk about that. And, at this time of life with friends, this really feeds your soul.
It is the
And-
time to feed your soul, for
it
sure.
is. So we hope you guys enjoyed this. And if you did enjoy this video, look at this next one. Invest in your friends in retirement. The importance of having honest and trust with your friends. And we also give you tips for creating or growing your social circle. So watch this video next.